Hi there, it's Jane from Surface Anthology and Chalk Mercantile. This is take 2, so hopefully this will work. I am going to show everybody what's new in the shop, and we're going to finish the jewelry box that I started on Monday. So let me make sure that I'm actually streaming over to Facebook, and I am, so I'm going to send out a link to my text group people. All right. Fabulous. It's away. Now I'm going to close my computer. So I got in a bunch of these really cool Amy Howard at Home mesh stencils, which I really love. I have them a while ago. Actually, Amy Howard at Home was my first line when I opened my shop many, many moons ago. Hey, Danielle, good afternoon. How are you today? Good to see you. I'm going to show you some new stuff. The mesh stencils are very, very cool. If you saw me on Monday, I kind of used the tool not in quite the right way. So I'm going to show you, I'm a lefty. I'm going to show you today when we get to finishing the jewelry box, how as a lefty you can use it. You just have to flip it upside down. But first I want to show you what's new. So these mesh stencils I use with the A Maker Studio chalk art, which is a chalk paste, okay? And these are all, I think of A Maker's Studio and Amy Howard at Home as kind of one and the same because it's all created by her. So you're going to hear me kind of go back and forth. If you order from me, sometimes you'll see A Maker Studio label on it. Sometimes you're going to see Amy Howard at Home. Shannon, how are you? Shannon, I got your, now I'm going to do a little business. I got your email about the package. Shannon won our Surface Anthology membership raffle. And unfortunately, there was a little issue with your post office and your address. So when it comes back, I'm going to get it to you if I have to fly out there myself and deliver it, Shannon. So don't worry. We'll figure it out when I get it. Julie, how are you? Good to see you. I'm showing off some new stuff. Yay! I love getting new stuff and I love trying it out. So here is the first mesh stencil. Now these are not Mylar, they're mesh. They're like, go back to watch Monday's live and you'll see what I mean. This one is called Classic Borders and it is quite large. So this is something that is perfect for furniture. The important thing to remember, everybody, when you use these stencils is to have like a bucket or a pan, or if you're near a sink, fill it up with some warm water. And when you're, done with the stencil, you just immediately put it in the water. And I like using the chalk art paste. I did try the first time. I used, I can't remember now what paint I used. I think it was Authentico. And I let it dry. And it was really hard to remove from the stencil. So, do as I say, right? Oh, Shannon, you are so welcome. Absolutely. So this one's beautiful. It's all these really classic motifs, egg and dart, Greek key, all kinds of cool stuff here that you can use on furniture, on anything really. This one I loved. All of you that paint furniture are going to relate. I rescue discarded furniture. I'm not a hoarder. I'm a hero. I love this. I'm going to have to show that. I'm going to put on a t-shirt and wear it. And look at the pieces of furniture. And these are all stencils. So super detailed, like these pieces of really classic furniture. But isn't that great? I love it. And of course, this is the one I used on Monday. The French Ram, who is just as handsome as can be. Now here's a smaller one. Still, you can use this on furniture, absolutely, or those little pieces that we pick up, jewelry box, that little wall pocket I made. But look at these really classic trims. And you can cut these apart to lay them down. And of course, they're reusable. They have a sticky side, they're reusable. And you just have to wash them. And then you lay them down to dry, sticky side up. I just lay out a big old towel next to me. Oh, Danielle just rescued a chair from the curb last week. Absolutely. I look like a nut. I am like, I'm going to drag that piece home if I have to, strap it to my roof, right? Shannon's saying she needs this as a tattoo, right? This one. You know what? That would be a great tattoo. Wow. I was thinking on my 60th birthday that I would get a tattoo. And I'm a pain about tattoos, right? But how cool would a piece of like classic French furniture be, right? Get that right on my back, up on my shoulder. Oh my God. All right, let's carry on, Jane. This one I love, perfect for Christmas. Look at these trees and the holidays, fall, winter, New Year's, with these really beautiful and detailed snowflakes. And there's a holly branch, a pine cone, really beautiful. And look at this one. This is a chocolate. It looks like an old chocolate ad, right? But look at the bunny. I just had to have him with the crown and the wreath. Really sweet. Some of these are super tiny and adorable. You can do your own. Come on, everybody. Let's do our own Christmas cards this year, right? How much fun would that be? Danielle, I want to see that chair, by the way. People get rid of chairs, and some of them, they just need a little TLC. This one, this is actually, there are two in here. And these are called, I think this is, it's called Motif. But they are very classic motifs. Now, how much does that remind you of the Iron Orchid, what is it called? The Rosettes mold. And this is quite large and would look beautiful on a piece of furniture. Let's see, let me show you the other. And if you go to chalkmercantile.com, you'll see photographs of all of these. But this one has that and then this. Look at these. Beautiful, right? Gorgeous. And this one, there's even a face, and you know I love that. So really, really beautiful stencils. And I'm putting this back so I don't lose this. And then I'll be like going nuts trying to find it. So this goes back in, and when you get these stencils, save everything. Save the backing that it's on, save the little envelopes, everything, because they all have to go back on there. Now look at this. Oh, I love this. It's a big French, this is, I think, a map of Paris. Isn't this like amazing? I want to do this on an old, if I could find an old board or make a board look old and just put this on. Isn't that, this is a mesh stencil. It's just amazing. And it's huge, so it would look gorgeous on top of a table. Oh, there goes Henry. On top of a table, on the front of a piece of furniture. It's just really, really beautiful. Now, sometimes I get a little snarky when it comes to like the signs. I read this really funny, Shannon, isn't the map gorgeous? Shannon is saying, oh, I love the map. I know, me too. I had to have it. I would love to actually put that down on craft paper and make your own wrapping paper, right? You could use the chalk art, and the chalk art comes in all these like really cool colors. You can make your own wrap, and again, they're reusable. But I saw the funniest, I don't know if it was a real, on Facebook, but it was a man whose wife, a young, husband whose wife makes signs. And he went around and did a tour, and every room in the house had a sign, right? This is the pantry, this is the kitchen, welcome to our living room. And I just died. And sometimes I'll be like, okay, we don't need to know this much, right? But then I saw this, and I love hot chocolate. I make my own mix, right? I have a recipe. And I would love to do like a hot chocolate station in my kitchen because I love it, right? And how much fun is this? It's got the cup, the cocoa bean. For those of you that get fancy, right? We have a little cup on a pedestal. Look at the mushroom, everything. It's just super cute. And this is a nice size mesh stencil. Hey, Barb. Uh-oh, Barb already has. Barb's like, I really like the mesh stencils. I have so many. Yeah, Barb, it's a problem, right? Oh, and Julie's saying, everything is fantastic. I just love it all. Oh, that's great. Thank you, Julie. I think, you know, Amy does a great job at this kind of stuff. A lot of the time I won't find something I like, so I end up making something in Canva, and then I have to, you know, go through printing it and then tracing it, you know, and I could never do anything as I could do something as complicated as this, but it would take forever. So she's just kind of has the aesthetic that I really, really love. And I love this one. I thought of it as Christmas the first time I saw it. It says, there is a season for everything. But it's got flowers. It's got pansies. It also has pine cones. And duh, Jane, it's the seasons. So I loved that. You know, I sit there and I'm like, wow, it's got everything in there. It really does. So this is just lovely. And if you wanted, you guys, you can, like if you just wanted this oval wreath, you don't have to use this part of the stencil, right? You would just do around that. So it's really, really lovely. Barb is like, wish they had a support group for me. Oh my God, I know. It's something. But Barb, you know, everybody, right, we work hard and everybody has their thing. Trust me, I know people who spend money on something that I think is completely crazy. And it's like, well, why do we work, right? To get stuff that we love. But yeah, sometimes it is an addiction. Now, this is one that I have before, and it's restock, and it's beautiful. And I think it's called, this is called Parisian Script, right? Really beautiful. I did it on a board. This would be gorgeous on a piece of furniture, all of them. And then last but not least, I love this one. I love this. It gives me kind of a Victorian, homey vibe, right? That somebody would have embroidered. And I saw a picture of somebody doing this as a sign. They did the first pass in like a color, waited for it to dry, put it down and shifted it slightly, and then did it in a metallic. And it was really beautiful. All right, everybody, this is not it. I told you I got chalk art. This is a chalk paste. These are just a few of the colors. I have a whole bunch of them. I don't have all of them in yet. If they're popular, I will definitely get them. But a little of this goes a long way. And this is what I prefer to use with these stencils, the mesh stencils. I also got, because I needed to replace the Authentico gilding wax. This is called embellishing wax, and it's in gold. I wanted a gold, if I could get it open, a gold metallic wax. Ah, there we go. So I had to get this one, and it's very, very, very cool. You have to mix it up, and I can't do that with my finger. But it's like, it's a gold wax. And of course I didn't bring anything that I could put it on. And it's not, you're not gonna see it. But it's this really, there you go. It's a really beautiful, refined, silky gold, and I love this color. So that's in, and this, of course, you can use on furniture. Absolutely. So let's close that. And then somebody had asked, I don't know if it's anybody on here now, because my recall with names is the worst, but I got in again, copper leaf, silver leaf, but then I got variegated copper leaf. And I'm excited. This is the first time I'm opening it. So let's see what this, ooh, this is very cool. So this is something that actually happens to copper, right? Let's see if I'm on the right side. This looks like it's got a front and a back, but look at that. How cool is that? I want to do the inside of a lampshade with this, or something like one of the ones that you're looking up at. I just think this is absolutely exquisite. So this is the variegated copper leaf. Just remember when you're using this, it looks like there is a right and a wrong side. Really beautiful. So I'm excited about that. And you know I'll be doing a project with this. And I'm going to put it away. Because the minute I'm off here today, I'm working on my next big workshop. And I'll give you a little hint. It's a little miniature theater. And I don't want this blowing around. So we have that. Now, quickly, before I show you the next line. Oh my goodness. I need that more than milk paint. Shannon, you're killing me. So here's the Maker's Studio. Oh my God, what is this called? Not a burnisher. Help me out, you guys. You know how I am with names. But it's like if you're a righty, right? There's the front, and you would use it like this, right? It's got different angles, and you would use it like this with the round side facing up. Well, I had it, and I was using it like this in my left hand, and I turned it over. So all I would have to do is turn this around as a lefty. I hope you're following me. And then I could push the paste into the stencil with that straight edge, okay? So that's the mistake I made. It isn't really a mistake. You just need to flip it around if you're a lefty. The other one I got, and are these really inexpensive plastic ones. And this, you don't have to do anything fancy, and it's just a little sheet, and they're like, 50 cents. So now, for the really French, it's not really a French line, because the person that makes this line, his name is Christophe Pornet. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. I just love him. I've been a huge fan of him, his products for many, many years. And I carried this book in my shop, which I love, and I'm going to show you. So this is Christopher, or Chris, my son's name is, one of my sons is Christopher. Thingamabob, right, Shannon? Yep, the Thingamabob. That's what I'm going to call it. So Christophe Pornet, or Porny, was born in France. He is a furniture restorer, everything. Furniture guy extraordinaire. This is his book, which you've probably seen. I think everybody who has anything to do with furniture or has antiques in their house should have this book. It's called The Furniture Bible, and mine is signed. All the ones that I have in the shop are signed also. But I met him in New York City, and he wrote to Jane. I just love him. I'm like, ooh. And I use this all the time. Here's his finishing school. It says an encyclopedic overview of traditional fine finishing techniques. He's also got a painting technique in here, gilding, water gilding. It is filled with everything. He deals with some contemporary furniture, and it's just right up my alley. Look at the before and after of this. Right? Here's a humble little pine antique dresser, and look what he did. I just think it's exquisite. And he doesn't use any polys. He's speaking my language. It's all the real squeegee, Danielle. This is called, okay, everybody, it's a squeegee. Oh, Danielle, thank you. So this book has it all. He tells you how to pack furniture, dealing with marble. He has a different way of aging hardware, right? How to make it look old. It's fabulous. I just cannot recommend this book enough. Repairing, French polish, if you really want to get into something. And you know what? Anybody can do this. You have to take your time and you have to study and just, experiment, right? You just have to be patient. So I just love it, and I really highly recommend this. If you're somebody who knows somebody who loves to do this to furniture, take care of it, right? Restore it. This would be a great, great gift. I'm trying to find a picture of him. Let's see if it's in here. Well, he's throughout the book. But, oh, and Martha Stewart, by the way, did the foreword. I'm so easily impressed, right? Anyway, it's a really, really good book. I go through it all the time, and I love it. It's a great reference book. The other thing, so now he makes all this stuff. He makes his own wax, and this is an organic furniture wax. This is a clear wax. It's a clear paste, he calls it. Naturally scented beeswax, and let me tell you, it's delicious. It's like, oh my God, I love it. And it has organic beeswax, organic carnauba wax, refined linseed oil, and he says pressed from North American seeds, and herbal essential oils and resins. No petroleum distillates or solvents. It's biodegradable. So this, another really, really good furniture wax, and great as a gift, and just an all-around really good wax. And yeah, you can use it over painted finishes. Now, look at his little furniture care starter kit. This is really sweet. And when you open it, inside he's got, and I'm going to be doing a gift guide, everybody, because people do get in touch with me, and I did a lot of that at my brick and mortar store. But he is really all about just being a purist, using the best materials, right? I love this card in here. The best way to predict your future is to create it. And that's by Lincoln. Really sweet. But it's got his furniture tonic, color reviver. So I would use this on my antique wooden pieces. I use it on my mahogany pieces. I love it. It's got a little cloth in there, right? A cotton cloth. And it's got the clear one, the furniture tonic. Restore, protect, and shine. And I love it. Old world recipe with natural ingredients. So very, very cool. Really nice gift. Nice gift for yourself if you're into taking care of your wood furniture. And you know me, I'm like, don't use pledge, please. All right, so that's the Christopher Pornet that I got in that I'm really excited about. Now I'm going to show you how to finish our jewelry box. And I'm using two other new products on this since we're talking about Amy Howard at home. So here's the jewelry box. And if you remember when I did this, let me get that guy out of there. I painted this in, I think it was Luxe Gray or Parisian Gray. I'm not sure. Amy Howard at Home one-step paint. This is a paint that it's a chalk paint that has a built-in top coat. I'm still going to wax it, okay, because I want to add a little bit of a protection. Even though this Amy Howard at Home one step has a built-in top coat, you could see where I was touching it, where my fingers were, getting stuff on it. So I want to wax it. But remember when I did this on Monday and I used my squeegee the wrong way? Danielle, again, thank you. And it was kind of irregular, right? Because I wasn't getting the paste all the way through. Well, what I did, I'm like, oh, I'm just going to wash it off and start again. I thought I would just wash it off because before you finish your chalk paste, right, with wax, it is removable. So I sprayed it, I took a cloth to it, and it left. This is what was left, right? It didn't remove it all the way. And I love it. I love how this looks, right? It's a very, very soft. I just think it's beautiful. So I'm leaving it like that. So it's a happy little accident. Now, to finish it, I'm using, these are two new products. This was the first furniture wax I used when I started painting furniture. And it's the Amy Howard at Home. I'm using the light antique wax. Now look at the difference here. Oh, Shannon, thank you. I really like it too. This wax has a very, very subtle amber color to it. This is not a clear wax. All right, so if you look at the Christophe Pornet, that's clear, right? Even though it looks kind of yellowy there, it goes on clear. This one is definitely just a little bit amber, and I like it's kind of a taupey amber. It's really subtle, you guys, which I love. And I'm going to use the dark antique wax, right? And these are cakes, these are pastes, and you could, this is clean. I was doing a paint technique this morning on for the workshop and recording it, and I got paint sprayed everywhere on everything. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the light antique wax over the whole thing. For our live today, I'm just going to do the top. I'll show you how I put it on. And then I'm just going to do a little bit of an accent with the dark. And I'm talking really, really subtle. When you see Amy using this, she just goes right in with her brush into the cake. Now, when you know you absolutely have a perfectly clean brush, that's fine. My brushes, you know, I just pull these out. I don't want to get this all icky. So I'm going to do what I usually do and put some down on my board here. All right, my cardboard. And then cover that up. And you're gonna, you know, I learned with Amy how to use her products when I first became a stockist. And you'll always see her, you know, kind of emulsify that wax onto the brush, right? And then you have to unload it, all right? Because this is not like some of the other waxes that you'll see me use. It's just a different kind of a wax. It's a really nice wax, but it needs a very, very light hand. You don't want to blob this wax on. All right, so now I've got wax on my brush, and I'm just going to feather this wax on. So I'm just lightly brushing this, and I can feel this wax on here, right? I'm putting a very light coat. Okay, offload, and we'll do the other side. And the mistake I made with this wax the first time I used it, before I went, you know, down to Tennessee for the training, I put on too much and it was a sticky mess. So you just want to do that, right? Nice thin coat. And then for the dark wax, you know, normally you would wait for this to kind of dry a little bit between the two, but we've got our clear coat on here. Okay, and I can feel it. It's not greasy, but I know it's there. Take your dark wax, same thing. I'm not going to work out of the tin because I just know that I'm going to get that white paint that went everywhere. And I'm just going to put a little bit. I'm not going to use a lot at all. All right, close this up. I have another brush, and I always tell you guys, you know, if you have a dedicated dark wax brush, and you might even put like, this is my Amy Howard dark wax brush, right? So you don't get confused and then worry about what you're putting on your furniture. Same thing, right? Put it on. Offload. I have very little on here, all right? Now I'm just going to do around the edge. And it's kind of catching that little lip that's on this piece. I even hold my brush way back here. And let me just tell you, less is more with this dark wax, right? It's got a nice color. It's a different brown than like the Miss Mustard Seeds at Home. Not Miss Mustard Seeds at Home. Oh my God. Miss Mustard Seeds wax, right? Which is more, it's a cooler color brown. This is a warmer color. All right, and that's it. That's all I'm going to do. And I'm going to be doing this to the whole piece, but let me show you, right? So you see that very, very subtle, let's turn this around, very, very subtle antiquing, right? Just a little bit. And I did this before, and you see it's really subtle, and that's what I want for this piece. I don't want anything extreme. Now what I'll do is I'll do the whole piece, I'll wait for it to dry, and then I'm gonna give it a nice buff using my buffing brush so I could just get a little bit of a sheen going, and then it's done. I just love it. I'll have it in my bedroom. You know, I'm not gonna be filling it with much. I don't have a lot of jewelry. But it's just nice. And you know, you guys, you could put in makeup brushes into these boxes, right? If you wanted to. You can use them for anything, right? They're so much fun. And again, I get them at Goodwill, and I just can't resist. So that's it, you guys. As always, let me know if you have any questions. Have you started thinking about your shopping list or gift giving? I just think this is the sweetest little thing in the world. But you want to give it to somebody who is like maniacs like us about furniture, right? Because otherwise, I guess it could be seen as like giving somebody, I don't know, room freshener or something. They're not going to get it. They have to really be passionate about really good quality products, and really taking care of their antiques, their furniture, and it doesn't have to be just antiques. So you guys, that is it. I've loaded this all up at chalkmercantile.com. Oh, Danielle, you're so sweet. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday, everybody. And I hope you're able to carve out some creative time to work on some projects of your own. And like I said, any questions at all, ask in the comments. And I will see everybody on Friday. For those of you in the Surface Anthology membership, I'm going to see you tomorrow for our Zoom call. And hopefully we have a new member who asked some really great questions, and I want to, along with others who have, like Danielle, you asked some really good questions too, and I want to address those tomorrow. So I'll see you then. Oh, Julie, thank you